How do you feel about the brown suit?
Loved it. Loved everything brown.
You really rocked the brown suit.
Everything was brown and avocado. I had a fantastic moustache, a great wig. I looked a little like, worryingly, Enoch Powell. That's sort of what we were sort of aiming for.
You looked a bit like Basil Fawlty as well, to be honest.
There's a touch of Basil about him, yeah.
Oh, I mean, when you all get when something is so stylised, and again, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it all seemed very plain in the day, but now you look back, the 70s was a very brown period. There was brown lino, there were brown cars, there were brown suits, there were brown carpets, brown wallpaper. It was very brown, wasn't it?
It was the colour du jour, and then tobacco stained. Everything was slightly browny
well, that's
yellow.
why it was brown, wasn't it? They had to paint everything brown because it ended up brown anyway. So you might as well go there. I mean, every pub ceiling was brown.
Yeah.
It was gloss brown. Not matte brown. It was gloss. They painted them brown. That's what they did,
Did you have an avocado bathroom suite?
Well, yeah, but, there was a bit of orange in there. There's a bit of avocado, but it's mainly brown. And at the time we thought, what is this about, Things were bleak enough as it was, the 3-day week, all that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But looking back, it had its own charm. Little did we know.
I was amazed that we left the house leaving an answer machine on with an A to Z, and we all survived. Yeah. We didn't have phones telling us how we got anywhere, and we didn't have to be able to get in contact with everybody at the drop of a hat. You'd literally press the button on this machine. You wouldn't find out till the end of the day who'd been in touch. And I always think, if you went to meet somebody and they didn't turn up, nobody panicked, You wouldn't know where they were. You just go back home and find out, probably on the answer machine, where they got stuck. There was so very different time. And it's actually great making a film without mobile phones, because obviously that becomes a huge plot point these days. You can't make a movie without acknowledging the fact that everyone has a phone, knows where they are, knows how to get information. Whereas in those days, very different.
Very different, to the point that very urgent phone calls were being made in payphones with 2p pieces, having to wait for the beep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. Phone call. There's one scene where a phone call takes so long to make that the people who the phone call's being made about arrive at the subjects of the phone call whilst the phone's still ringing.
Yeah. Do you remember those great big grey boxes that you would force those 2p's and 10p's into?
Yeah, you should have a bag of 2p's.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Wow.